Good evening. Welcome to Grand Blanc Township's board meeting for Tuesday, April 14th. If you could all rise with me for the pledge. Clerk Robertson, would you please call the
I
roll?
would be happy to call the roll, Mr. Supervisor. Supervisor Bennett?
Here.
Myself, of course, I'm here. Treasurer Yancho is absent for the moment. Trustee Ryder?
Here.
Trustee Fike?
Here.
Trustee Hugo?
Here.
Trustee White? Here. 6 members present, a quorum.
Okay, thank you. And now I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda, if somebody cares to make that motion. Motion by Mr. Fike, support by Ms. Hugo.
Motion by Fike, supported by Hugo on the agenda. Trustee White?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll move to public comments, and if anybody has a comment, we just ask that you fill out the comment form here and bring it up to the dais. But we have up first Marisa Stein. Good evening.
Hi, my name is Marisa Stein. I've lived in the township for a combined total of almost 17 years, and I'm here to thank the board for voting to approve the funding for the flock cameras. I'm also here to express some concerns of some of the comments that were made during the March 17th board meeting, specifically dealing with the flock cameras. And I believe that technological advances that help our local and state and federal police agencies are not only necessary, but vital to the protection of our community. And I, for one, was very happy to hear that Genesee County has grants and working in collaboration with the Department of Homeland Security to help offset the cost of those cameras. I'm a Latina woman, okay, and some of the comments that were specifically referencing to quote Trustee Ryder, we haven't seen a large influx of ICE in our community. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've lived in Michigan for almost 50 years. Call it what you want. INS, immigration, ICE, they have always deported those people that are in our communities illegally, hence why they are undocumented. You're looking at someone whose family went through the proper channels, did it correctly, went through all the bureaucratic red tape, very proud green card holders. So this really fired me up personally. That's why I'm here. So I don't mean it disrespect when I say this, but I would like to request that those board members who are unfamiliar with a particular ethnic group refrain from saying things that could be construed as offensive. There are a large number of legal Hispanics who just want people to follow the rules, go through the channels, do the work. Again, thank you for your time. I've said my piece. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Stein. Ms. Ashley Prue.
Thank you, Supervisor Bennett. My name is Ashley Prue, and I am a candidate for Genesee County probate judge. I know many of you personally, and you have expressed support for me, some of you, so thank you for that. I am looking to introduce myself tonight to not only the board, but also the members of the public who are here. I currently work in the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office in the Appeals Division. I was in the Court of Appeals in Lansing today, which is why I'm even more formal than normal. But before that, I was also in the Corporation Counsel Office of Genesee County, so I represented municipal government, a body similar to your own, as you're aware. Prior to that, though, and most importantly for this position, I do have 10 years' experience in probate work. And what probate work is that is the court that oversees guardianships, conservatorships, estates, so when people pass, and as well as mental health proceedings. And I do have that experience of sitting with clients on both ends of that, whether it was Adult Protective Services who petitioned someone to have a guardianship that didn't actually need it. He just had a severe PTSD from serving in Vietnam, and he needed connection to the right resources, all the way to the other end of that spectrum where an adult child of an aging parent with dementia does need a guardianship. So having that experience, I believe, is very important to have the requisite compassion for this role. And I am happy to answer any questions of the public. I know this is not the time for that, but in general, if you'd like to talk to me, I do have a little information on me, and I'd be happy to connect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Prue. Okay, seeing no further public comment, we'll close public comment and bring it back to the board. And we have some special recognitions that we would like to make this evening. Would you like to speak first, Mr. Limita?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I just want to make sure everybody understands or knows that this is the last meeting that we're going to have our executive coordinator, Melissa Roberts, here. And she's been with us for 6 years, I'm sure, or more. And if you ask her, she'll say it seems like 20. But Melissa has been provided an opportunity to move to another municipality, and we are going to sorely miss her, not just in the supervisor or superintendent's office, but township-wide, because she plays such a behind-the-scenes role for everything from our grantsmanship. Melissa's been integrally involved in millions of dollars of grants that have been awarded to us in her tenure here. She keeps my office running, and she has her finger in every single department that in this entire community. So she'll still be in our community. She'll still be a township resident. She will be keeping an eye on us and letting us know when we're out of line. But I did want to recognize her for her service because it is going to be really big shoes to fill. And I just wanted to have the board acknowledge the fact that she's on her out. We also want to celebrate that she came, she gave us, of herself. But she also learned a little bit along the way, and she's going to take that knowledge and she's going to share it with another community and make them better as well. So with that, the board just would acknowledge the fact that we're about to lose her. Her last day is Friday.
I would concur, Mr. Limita, that Ms. Roberts has been an integral part of so much and helped organize so many things, and the start of our DDA or community cleanup, I mean, a number of activities. So we will miss you dearly. For the board, we have something special going on Friday, so join us if you'd like around 11:30 to 1 with the staff to recognize Melissa and all she's done. So thank you, Melissa, for all your dedication and after-hours work and everything that you've done to put so much care into our township. So we appreciate you. If you want to say a few words, you're welcome to. We'll get you up here before you leave. And with that, I know we have some more special recognitions to make here. Would you like to go ahead, Mr. Limita?
So we get a twofer tonight because there's been a longstanding member of this organization who has been also so incredibly integral to the police operations. And she has decided, against my advice, to retire. And I've offered her to come back for 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, any time she would like to come. But she absolutely says the time is right, and she knows the time is right. So we also want to recognize Sherry Potter for her unbelievably dedicated support to Grand Blanc Township and to the police department. She has been through 4 police chiefs, I think. And she says they keep getting better, Bill. That's what I've heard. But under her tutelage, of course. She's been bringing them all along. She is really going to be sorely missed. We also had Brandy, who is our new FOIA coordinator and accreditation manager, who started yesterday. So we've got Sherry for another 2 weeks, I think, maybe, if we're lucky. And so she has that ability to impart some of the knowledge with Brandy, but we're incredibly excited to welcome Brandy to our team. But it's a very, very sad day to lose 2 quality individuals with Melissa and Sherry. And so I really wanted to recognize Sherry Potter, because I'm not quite sure that the police department is going to keep running when she leaves. I'm nervous. Bill assures me that they've got everything under control, but I know he shares a little bit of my concern.
I would concur, and we have a special guest this evening, State Representative Dave Martin. Dave, would you like to come forward? And Sherry, please join Representative Martin, if you would, at the podium.
Thank you much, Mr. Supervisor. I just worry that I did a tribute for another retiree just recently. You have somebody else leaving. I just want to make sure that there's somebody left to mentor Clerk Robertson. That's
Listen to you.
no, it is an honor to I visited the police department. I've gone on rides and so forth, and I've been well received, and I've come here, and things are well run, and I'm very pleased that, for the state of Michigan and through my office to give you a tribute for your service to the community.
Thank you so much.
Get a picture of the chief.
Yes, yes. Yes, of course.
We want the police officers over there, too.
Worked with some of you longer than others, so.
Oh, yeah.
The tall guy's right next to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So probably a lot of people that may not know all the work that goes into the position that Sherry had, but as FOIA coordinator for the police, the volume of work is, I can only imagine, has only grown incredibly over the past several years. We incorporated originally car cameras, which have to be redacted and what have you, but those are FOIA'd quite often. We introduced body cams a couple of years ago, and the volume of body camera footage that comes in every night has to be just incredible, and the number of requests for those, as well as, even reports that are FOIA'd that have to be gone through. So the enormity of the work has only grown over the years, as well as Grand Blanc Township being one of the first communities to be accredited in the state, and one of the first here in Genesee County. Sherry helped us through that process and doing all the thousands of pages of documentation to become accredited. And we appreciate all your work to blaze that trail for our township. And it's just a huge reflection on this township to have all those things happen so seamlessly, at least to the public. I know behind the scenes it's kind of chaotic, I'm sure, getting all those things together. But we appreciate what you've done for the township, Sherry, and we stand so tall here in Grand Blanc Township because of the great employees that we have at our township, and we appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. And you're welcome to join us at the podium if you'd like to say a few words. Or maybe Dan would like to for you. Okay. Okay, anything else? Mr. Clerk?
Actually, there is one more, since Michaela Phillips is here, and I think that it'd be awesome time to recognize Michaela as well, because she's been with us for about 4 years. I I got that one right. As a part-time communications person for us, and she's been the person behind the scenes for a lot of our social medias and some event planning and some other things. A lot of the graphic design that you see of that professional quality comes from Michaela, and I'm really happy to announce that today is her second day on the job as our full-time community engagement coordinator. And we're really excited to have her here because one of the things that we had in our strategic plan was to enhance our community engagement. We went out on a search. We had some amazing candidates, and Michaela was able to rise to the top and become our full-time community engagement person. So she's no longer in the part-time rank. She has joined our team as full-time, and so you're going to be seeing a lot of Michaela over the next few years. So
Or you're going to be seeing a lot of us and Michaela behind the camera.
So Michaela, you can have the microphone also.
Okay.
Oh, for
All
three.
right. Congratulations, Michaela. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, again, thank you. We've got some of the best employees here at Grand Blanc Township. You know, we had Grand Blanc Township University on their opening night, and we did a tour of the office building, and we talked about, you know, all of our different staff in our police department and our assessing, all these different departments where we actually have leaders in our state, if not the country, that head up different things with our police, with our assessing, clerk's office, you know, president of the state clerks, what have you. Our biggest challenge is hanging on to those people because they become leaders in their field, and soon everybody else wants them. And so keeping them is a challenge. And I think, you know, losing people is tough, but it also, I think, speaks volumes for our township that we hire great people, and we appreciate even when they get the opportunity to advance themselves too. But it's bittersweet, and we'll miss having you guys here, but we appreciate what you've done while you've been here. So, okay, with that, we're going to move on to approval of the consent agenda. If somebody could care to make that motion. Motion by Ms. Hugo, supported by Mr. White.
Motion by Hugo, supported by White on the consent agenda. Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee White?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
6-0. Motion passes.
Thank you. And now, moving to old business, we have Mr. Kimmer with us, our Deputy Superintendent, to discuss the Parks and Recreation millage that I know we've had some discussion in the past on. Everybody should have at their seat a packet. This is a little bit different than the one that was in your board packet. It just has a few more numbers in it that, some estimated costs, what have you. And Mr. Kimmer is going to put that up on the screen. While Mr. Kimmer is doing that, just to review, we actually put a few different motions in the packet. So we have a few different options this evening to consider. Right now, we currently have 0.25 as our millage. And we put on the ballot this past year a 1 mil proposal, and that was turned down. And so this time around, I think we're looking at both the .25 and a .50, or half a mil, those two options for the board to consider putting forward. We put in here what those costs would be for the two different millages. And I'll let Mr. Kimmer go over that a little bit more, but just so you know, I want to emphasize this before we even get started, that the 2026 median taxable value of $115,850, that's taxable value, that's not market value or assessed value, that's taxable value. For a $115,000 home, that'd be about $28.96 per year. The half a mil, 50, is about $57, $58, $57.92 per year is what that would cost the average or the median homeowner here in Grambling Township. So the difference between less than 30 and less than 60. Mr. Kimmer?
Can you hit that switch for me, Supervisor?
Okay, sorry. Yep. I think that's the right one. Looks like one more here.
Oh, there you go, something just came on.
That's what we want to see. Okay, good evening, everyone. Most of you have seen this presentation in the past when we went through the previous Parks and Rec millage discussions, and as Supervisor Bennett said, this presentation just kind of has some updated numbers in there, updated taxable values, and what we're looking at for possibly a half mil or a quarter mil. So just to recap, what was some key projects that were completed under the previous Parks and Rec millage, and again, that one has expired. That one did expire December 31st, 2025. So under that old millage, we did update the playground, security cameras, purchase some new equipment, metal roofs on some pavilions there. We, did a lot of work to the basketball courts, and also as part of those that existing millage, we were able to have some matching grant funds for the project that we are doing in the park this year of reconfiguring the parking lot and the road and updating the South Pavilion with new restrooms, a new food prep area, and a family-style restroom. So a couple key items there that we were able to complete under the old millage. So what are our options for the next millage? Just to recap, we did put it on the ballot last August at a full mill, and that was voted down by the voters at a full mill. So what are our options now? Do we look at a half mill? Do we look at a quarter of a mill? We do have a few options here. Do we want to look at a 10-year millage? Do we want to look at just a 5-year millage? If we put it on the ballot this year, we would ideally like to shoot for the August election. That means the ballot language has to be approved by May 12th at 4 p.m. And again, are we looking at a quarter or are we looking at a half? This table does have the updated 2026 median taxable value numbers, which is essentially half of the assessed value. At a quarter of a mil in year one, the average homeowner at with a taxable value of $115,850 is looking at $28.96 per year. At a half a mil, that would double to $57.92. And just recapping the two elections this year, we do expect a high voter turnout. August 2026 is the primary election, and November is the Michigan gubernatorial election. So the projections for the next millage, we've looked at this slide before. This is assuming that since 2016 until now, the average taxable value growth rate in the township has been about 4.35%. So if we are to assume over the next 10-year period that we're on that average, how much would each millage amount collect over that 10-year period? At a quarter of a mil, that would be approximately $6 million. At a half a mil, again, we just double that, looking at about $12 million that we would collect over that 10-year period. These are assumptions, but that's about the best calculation we can come up with. So with a with a quarter of a mil, we're looking at getting the essential items, the essential improvements done in the park. We have those listed out there. We have approximate estimates on what those projects would cost. We're looking at, we talked about putting sanitary sewer in some form at the park to address some issues there right now, but also allow us to expand further with additional restroom facilities or maintenance barn facilities, whatever. This would also allow us to, upgrade some of the softball fields, some of the fencing, some of the concrete pads for bleachers, pathways. A couple of the high priority items that really probably need to get done here pretty soon. One is the irrigation for the soccer fields is not functioning right now. It sounds like it was a bit undersized when it was installed. This was well over a decade ago that it was installed. So that would be a high priority item. One of the other high priority items that I want to bring your guys' attention to, so the multipurpose field that is located at the North Pavilion. It's been discovered that during, mind you, this is going back to before the township was in charge of the parks and owned the parks. It wasn't necessarily the best fill dirt that was put in that field, and we have had some pieces of concrete and other material that it's worked its way up after the freeze-thaw cycles. So at this point, we have shut down the multipurpose field. We will not be renting it out this year to lacrosse teams or youth football teams. Obviously, we want, as a safety precaution. But we are left with, okay, what do we do with it now? And so, I mean, the ultimate solution would be probably to dig 3 or 4 feet out and completely fill back in with all new, clean material.
So yeah, that field is fairly large right there by the North Pavilion.
Correct.
And like you're saying, turns out that, before we took over, Grand Blanc Township took over the operation of the park, we had and it really, I can't fault the Parks Commission for this, but, when that park was first established, it was, hey, somebody's donating the property, and, a lot of those things, they kind of did on the fly, and, they wanted to make it a great park, but funds were limited, and so some things were probably put together
Correct.
real quick, and how do we make this thing work? When we took over the park a few years ago, the maintenance on the thing was really lacking. In fact, we had to shut down the basketball courts.
Yes.
This field was basically, overgrown, couldn't get grass to grow there. Irrigation systems didn't exist. Fields, it basically was in very poor, the millage that we've been able to pass, and there wasn't a millage before at all. We've been able to bring it up to the level it's at. I hesitate to say this, but, if we continue the .25, we're going to maintain what we have and probably get some things working that maybe aren't working. But in terms of doing anything extra, I can't see us doing that. But if we want to maintain what we have, but, that field, like you said, it has to be dug out 4 feet down and get all the re-rod, concrete, whatever else is in there. And I understand, hey, they had to fill that thing in, and they used whatever they could do. The sewer line, I mean, all these things go back to economic development too, but the sewer line that you're mentioning here, when we have a tournament out there, we have to have the company come out and pump out the sewage multiple times during the course of a weekend,
Yes.
which isn't cheap. And there's other things that if we want to have a premier park for a premier community, that I think, we want to do more than just maintain our current, but go ahead, Matt, I didn't mean.
Yep, and I was going to say that as well, about the millage. Keep in mind, 10 years or so or more before that, there wasn't a millage in place to address these capital improvements. So yes, the commission essentially did with what they had, and, they did the best they could. So for a $500,000, now we're looking into more of the desirable improvements. Some could be considered essential, depending on who you ask. But the key takeaways with some of the desirable improvements were, if we go for the $500,000, that's really going to open up 2 things. One is matching grant funds, having those funds available that we can set aside year over year to go and apply for trust fund grants or other DNR grants where we have those matching funds available for those larger projects. Obviously, the more money you contribute as matching funds, the higher your score is on your grant application, the more favorable it may be that that application gets approved. So having those matching grant funds available, also with the $500,000, we could also possibly look at offsetting some of our operational costs within the department. Most of our maintenance costs for the road, field material, for the softball fields. What that would ultimately do is lower the amount of the general fund that we use to offset some of the operating costs of Parks and Rec. The Parks and Rec department wouldn't become completely sustainable with a $500,000, but we would get closer to being more sustainable with millage dollars. Yeah, sure.
So freeing up some general fund could mean some departments that need additional staffing might have
Sure.
funding for that additional staff.
That could be a possibility, yes. Some of the other key items on there, that dog park that we have at the park, that is heavily used on the weekends, during the weeknights. We've heard from numerous users of that they would like to see some improvements out there. We would really like to add dugouts to the softball fields out there. Right now, we just put up some sunshades and kind of give them the best protection as possible. We know we've heard pickleball courts have been an item that residents want to see. Also, with the $500,000, we would be able to contribute more to the Perry House. Even though we are looking at that agreement with the Heritage Museum, hopefully that should be coming here soon. We still own the property, we still own the house. It would still be our responsibility for any, facility upgrades or capital improvements there at the park, at the Perry McGrath Historical Park. And with the senior center being a part of the Parks and Rec operations, we could also possibly look at utilizing some of the millage funds for capital improvements at the senior center as well. So that would be an option. And just to bring back in the community survey that we did in 2024, the fall of 2024, you guys have seen this graphic before. So the community feedback on those that were asked the question, would you support a quarter mill? 74% were in favor of that at that time. But we also had a question on there for the full mill, and that was 57% that of the respondents were in favor of supporting a full mill. So just to recap, essential improvements, 0.25, we're looking at about $6 million that we've identified in improvements that we could do for essentials. We've identified another $6 million in additional desirable improvements for a total, over that 10-year period so far, we've identified about $12 million in improvements. Again, at a 10-year renewal, estimated to collect about $6 million over that 10-year period. $500,000 would be double that, about 12. And again, just one more on the median taxable value of $115,850. The average household would pay $28.96 in year one for a quarter of a mil and $57.92 for a $500,000. And I did present 3 options for you guys to discuss and decide on. The 2 10-year millage rates, one at a quarter, one at a half, and also a 5-year at a quarter. So.
Thank you, Matt. One of the things that I'm hearing from around the community is that, in Genesee County anyways, is that there's going to be a substantial amount of money put out for pathways in Genesee County. And there will be a requirement for a match for that. With that substantial amount of money coming forward in the next year or two, if we have the money to match it, we'll be able to take advantage of that
Correct. And
possibly more than
And
others.
I'm glad you brought that up about the pathways. That is another maintenance item that is under the Parks and Rec Department. Obviously, the more pathways and trails that we add, great for the community, but we do have to maintain those as well.
Right.
Those are millage dollars we could utilize.
So one of the things in the grants that we have to do is Mr. Lehman has to find a way to build in, when we apply for a grant, and you as well, build into those proposals how we plan to maintain them. The pathway along Grand Blanc Road predates any of us, I think, here on the board, but it probably, I know it wasn't built to the same standards as the pathways we're building now, and in many cases, it's flooded out, it's, below grade of everything around it. Eventually, that's going to need some major work
We're getting
just to
close,
maintain it,
yeah.
or else we're going to end up having some issues with trip and falls and what have you. So, and that's the other thing, is we pick up some liability when we build these trails, and we need to make sure we maintain them for that reason as well. So that's something to consider with the proposal too. Any thoughts from board members? Everybody's deep in thought, I know.
I do too.
What's that? Okay, Mr. Fike?
This is a tough one, Matt.
Understood.
On the one hand, our residents said, we love our parks, we want to support our parks. Didn't we do a survey or something and said parks was the top of the list?
Right.
On the other hand, the last go-round, voters didn't want to approve an increase in taxes for it. So then, now we come up with either half of what we asked for or just maintaining status quo. And that's a tough sell. Which one, should we do? My fear is if we go for the half and then it gets voted down again, you guys got nothing, right?
Well, correct. We don't have anything right now, to be quite frank. The existing millage expired at the end of 2025.
Yeah, you don't have any money now, yeah.
We don't have an active millage right now.
This survey that you did, was that before the last millage or after?
Before.
That was before, it was October of
That's-
24. Yes.
Why do you think the last one failed?
I think my honest opinion, I think you hear more and more of residents that are more aware of their tax bills, and they're asking more questions, which is a great thing. Did we probably try to shoot too high for the full mill? That's a possibility. But we had one shot at it. We went for it, and the voters told us, "Hold on, we're not ready for this." We listened. We're scaling back some things, but now we're getting into what is really essential here. What are we going to need to maintain the status quo? That's, like I said, it's a great thing that voters are asking more questions. They are more aware. And obviously, you can pull in economic conditions, political conditions, all of it factors in, I'm sure.
I'm not trying to put you on the hot seat.
No, it's
I think
okay.
you do a great job.
I have a couple of observations regarding that answer, if I could, Mr. Fike.
All right.
That, number one, I think we went during May, I believe, for that vote, right?
It was August.
August?
It was
It was
August.
a very light turnout.
Could have been a light, yes, it was a light
Whenever it
turnout.
was August of last year, the turnout was extremely light. It didn't pass, I think it was 100 votes.
170,
Separated the yeses and the nos, so it wasn't a huge margin, but with very light turnout. And typically, those elections are heavily favored in terms of the absentee ballot in August. And I think probably if we looked at the stats, that would be against probably most millages. I think number two is that we need to let people know, what this isn't. I think we had somebody come to the meeting and say this was $90 a month, the full mill. It wasn't $90 a month. It was like $90 a year So I think getting the information out and letting people know, that we're looking at, the average house, what is it, $60 a year?
Yeah.
For the half mill and $30 for the, quarter mill. And I remember, I think Miss Hugo or somebody had mentioned that, they can spend more than that at McDonald's with their family in one visit, let alone a park that we're investing in. The thing that I look at too is that this is an investment for where you live going into the future. I mean, if you plan to sell your house in the future or you want good people moving to our community, we want good schools, we want good parks, we want, good roads, all of that. So I think educating the public is key, that we need to do that.
Now, what's the ballot coming up with all the millages on it?
Well, they're spread out. I think a lot of them are in November. Miss
County has several, right?
Miss Ryder probably can tell us because she actually works in that area of the county.
There's some countywide millages coming up in November. For May, we have 4 local Flushing police operating millage. There's the Birch Run Schools, which hits one of our municipalities, a portion of it. Grand Lake Schools and Linden Schools.
But as far as countywide millages,
This won't be until, I believe most of them are in November, some of them are
Right.
in August. But yeah, the MTA, the arts millage,
The veterans,
the veterans,
the senior?
that one I'm not sure.
senior, I believe that's coming up as well in November.
So if we're there with all the other millages, is that,
Millage
chances are
fatigue.
just not as good?
Possibility. Yeah, go ahead, trustee Ryder.
Go ahead, Ms. Ryder.
The voters turnout would be significantly higher.
November, yeah.
In November? In November?
Oh, and for anything.
August and November.
Yeah. But you still have to decide if the voters are gonna want to approve that regardless of the voter turnout. So that's still the question.
One other observation I had about why was it turned down? And I'm thinking back, the county has this incredible map dashboard that you can break down voting results by precinct. And me, and being former GIS, it's, I really tuned into this. What I noticed in some of the trends of the data was there was a higher percentage of no votes in the northeast and eastern part of the township. And the assumptions I draw from that is there's probably a lot of people, a lot of residents out on that portion of the township that don't have a direct benefit from Creasy Bicentennial Park being on the west end. So I don't, looking at the board's future plans, capital plans, I'm not asking you to do this right now, but maybe a little pocket park of some sort on the northeast end of the township, those residents would have more of a direct benefit, and the park system would be a little more visible to them as well. That is one trend that I kind of noticed, that the higher proportion of yes voters were more on the east side of the township, right around the location of the park, close proximity to trails. I mean, that's could be another
Going
item as
along
well.
with that thought, Mr. Kimmer, our office, Dennis, my office, occasionally, and you as well, we get inquiries of people that want to, we had somebody donate some property on Saginaw Street. We talked about the possibility of eventually having a pocket park there, but we do occasionally get other people looking at, hey, do you have any ideas of what we could do with this property? We'd maybe like it to be a park. Our biggest, thing we confront when we have somebody wanting to donate property for potential park or what have you is, we have a tough time accepting property if we don't have the money to turn it into something. Because basically we're taking property off the tax roll and we're just going to let it sit vacant. It's not wise use of property either. So if we had some funds for grants set aside for matching, when we come across those opportunities of maybe a park on the east side, when people have property, it would be a possibility.
There is a portion of the DNR, I believe it's trust fund grant, one of the grant applications that is set aside just for acquisition, land acquisition
Right.
for future parks. So there is a specific area that they focus on with that, with applications.
Any other thoughts from board members? Because if we want it on the ballot coming up, we only have probably one, maybe 2 meetings left before we need to make a decision.
Correct.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Clerk Robertson?
I opposed the placing of the 1 mil on the ballot last year. I thought it was significantly, I mean, that's a big jump from a quarter mil to a half mil, or to a full.
$90 from 25 or
Well,
whatever.
but I mean, in terms of the rate, from a quarter mil to a full mil.
Right.
And and if you recall, the vote was close. But I do appreciate the fact that we're kind of pulled our horns in a little bit. I think we've been responsive to the citizenry in terms of their objections to that larger mill levy, and the fact that we're considering either a renewal or a half mill. I'm more comfortable with those two proposals. I'm comfortable with a half a mil, but I am sensitive to Trustee Fike's concern that if the citizenry once again says, no, we meant it the first time, then we're without a millage altogether. And so it is a bit of a concern in that area.
I understand. Any other thoughts from board members?
Just put together a timeline to, if a millage were to be voted down in August, that August 5th is the election day, correct?
August.
If we were to put a renewal on for November, that would be August 12th, that would have to be filed, so
And when is the election in August, the first week?
August 5th. So what I'm saying is it would probably require a special meeting to,
I also want to just mention this too, because, one of the other things that we're looking at with our fire department is we're looking at a lot of different options of what we want to do there. We're going to probably have before the board here at our next meeting, I'm hoping. We're trying to work with a number of other municipalities on this, but on a study to look at a few different things. But, even talking with Chief Gent, we really don't know the exact dollar amount yet of what we're going to require. But, even at the half mil, we still have some room that we can put a millage on. But we've always said that, with a millage for fire, we'd be looking probably that November, Mr. Limita, if that. So, we may get closer to that as we work through the summer on a few different things to see where we're at dollar-wise. But anyways,
Yikes. Decisions. It'd be nice if we could vote tonight so that we can move forward on this. I mean, unless there's any other reason why we delay.
any thoughts, Ms. Ryder or Mr. White?
Let's do it today.
Okay, what's your thoughts on which way to go?
I'm fine. I was happy with the half mil last time. I was frankly a little disappointed we didn't do that and saved us all the hassle over the last year. I think it would have passed and we would have had a year of not talking about this. So I would support it at a half mil for 10 years. In fact, I'll make a
Okay.
motion right now that we put it on the August ballot at a half.
Okay, so Mr. White's making motion that we put it on the ballot for a half mil for 10 years. Put it on the August,
At the August,
Yep.
August ballot.
Ms. Hugo, you support?
is
The support by Ms. Hugo.
Ms. Hugo,
I just want to get a little bit more input before we take a vote.
all right?
Ms. Ryder?
I think that with the voter turnout being higher, it might be, like you said, to make sure the information gets out to the public so they understand what the cost actually is. and how dire the situation is. We obviously don't want to be in a position where we have to hurry up and put something on the ballot with that short of a deadline, but knowing that that's a cushion, but that would leave you most of the year without any funding.
Sure.
But I agree. I think that the full mill was probably sticker shock for a lot of people. But I think that a half mill is probably necessary for you to do what you need to do. So I would be in support of it.
Thank you. The millage, just for the mechanics of it, if we were to approve it in August or November, do we have time to get it on the tax? When would it go on the tax bills, Mr. Lemata?
It'll go out on the December tax bill,
Okay, with either vote.
either way. We just have to hold it back a little bit in November while we wait for that November vote to see if we have to add anything.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Shall I
Okay,
go forward with the record roll call, Mr.
sure,
Supervisor?
please.
Okay. Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kimmer. Thank you, everyone. The item number, under new business, item A, the board will consider a motion to approve the agreement, Resolution 26-11, amended Michigan Mutual Aid Box Alarm System. We have Chief Gent here this evening. Good evening.
Good evening. This motion will just allow us to re-enter into the agreement that's already pretty much in place, just maintaining our ability to modernize our MABUS system, the box alarm system, mutual aid system, on how we're going to respond to mutual aids throughout Genesee County and how other communities are going to respond to us in kind.
Could you, in about just a few sentences, explain for anybody who's
If
watching?
there's a major incident in Grambling Township, if we need a ladder truck, it kind of standardizes that process when we need a ladder truck, what community is going to respond into Genesee County, depending on the location of that incident. And depending on a location, say there's an incident in Burton, which piece of apparatus from what station is going to respond into Burton.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Gent? Okay, somebody care to make the motion? Mr. Fike makes the motion, support by Ms. Hugo.
Motion by Fike, supported by Hugo on item 8A. Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
John? Item B, the board will consider a motion to approve the renewal of annual licensing for Office 365 through CDW Government LLC for $47,919.78, and approve the Township Superintendent to execute the related agreement and purchase order. Good evening, Mr. Lucevelt.
Good evening. My name is Nathan Luzabelt, the Director of IT here. This is a normal renewal for Office 365 licensing. It has gone down from the previous year by 5.8% due to a smaller number of licenses that we needed to renew this year.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Lucevelt. So, actually, I was at a meeting with a number of other municipalities earlier today, and I know we have spoken, about maybe getting together some of the IT people from various municipalities. For something like this, if we had more, entities all bidding on it, would we possibly get it any cheaper, or is this just purely a mathematical equation of how many people you have and what the license costs?
I don't exactly know for Office 365 licensing if they have some sort of buying power situation for that, but it's definitely worth a try.
Okay. I'll continue to pursue that idea then. The idea is that if we had county agencies, local municipalities all going in on a local purchase, that, on some of these software renewals, if we had, 400 computers that we're licensing instead of, say, a small municipality might have, 10,
Right.
all of us would gain to benefit by joining together,
Yeah, if just having people join up on us, on our stuff, it would help them as well.
right? Any questions for Mr. Lucevelt?
Is the motion in order, Mr. Supervisor?
It is.
Then I will make the motion on item 8B,
I'll support that.
supported by Bennett. Shall I proceed with the roll call?
Yes, please.
Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Myself, yes. 6-0, motion passes.
Yes. Very good, thank you. Item C, the board will consider a motion for the purchase, thank you, Mr. Lucevelt. The board will consider a motion for the purchase of one Belgian Malinois police canine for $11,000 from Canine Group USA and authorize the superintendent to sign all related contracts and/or purchase orders. And we have Chief Rennie with us. Good evening.
Good evening. So this is just to replace our current canine. Our current canine has been with us for 7 years now. And if you remember during my annual report presentation, Blue is the canine's name, but he is 9 years old at this time. So he's endured a lot. You know, he actually goes to a chiropractor. So he does have some ailments that we are looking to take him out of service. This current canine that we're looking at would be shipped from the Netherlands. And it does come with a 1-year health warranty. And I do have our canine handler present with us as well, if you'd like to ask him some additional questions. But what we would do with our current canine once he retires is he would go with our handler and just retire at home and live the good life with Officer Cole.
I was going to say, when you say retire, we better make sure we're clear on what that means.
Yes, living a good life,
So
yeah.
he'll be living the good life with the family that he's been
Tons of
with.
treats, right, Officer Cole?
Yeah. So this dog is coming from the Netherlands?
Correct. Officer Cole did identify with the company a dog that they do have in mind. It's a 14-month-old Belgian Malinois.
Understands English?
No. So once we were to receive that dog, it would come into the Chicago airport. The company would pick it up. We would bring it back here. We would get the veterinarian's office to check it to make sure that there's no ailments with this particular dog. That's where the 1-year health warranty would come into effect. If it just happened to get like cancer or something within that year, then that company would fully refund that dog and provide us with a new dog. From there, we would, after we receive it, we will send that dog to a 6-week training with Officer Cole as the handler.
Clerk Robertson?
I must confess, I've never heard of a Belgian Malinois before.
That's what our current dog is, actually.
Yes.
Is it like a German Shepherd
It's
type dog? or-
somewhat like a German Shepherd, just a little bit smaller. I see a lot of police agencies, they got away with doing a German Shepherd just due to their size. So a Belgian Malinois is a little bit smaller, so it's less on the back when it's getting outside of the vehicle, less on the hips, less on the backs. And also it provides our canine handlers the ability to lift that dog over the fence a little bit easier too for subject apprehension.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Supervisor.
So this dog be for tracking, what use will it be trained for?
So our dog does get utilized for tracking, and that could track missing persons, missing children, people with dementia. It could also be used for tracking subjects who might do a burglary, car larceny, homicide, you name it. And also it will be used for finding drugs, finding article searches, such as if a subject had thrown a gun, to track evidence. And another thing that we utilize it for besides police operations is our public relations events. So Officer Cole and Blue, they're always at our National Night Out doing demonstrations, and also at the Grambling Township University, which we are hosting that, the police department next Wednesday, and that team will be there.
Any questions, Chief? Somebody care to make the motion? Ms. Ryder makes that motion, supported by Mr. White. You have a comment, Ms. Ryder? You have a comment as well?
Will Blue also be at the training, the Grambling Township University next week?
Blue will be there next week. Yes, because we won't
make the
have,
motion
we
then.
won't have that dog yet, the new one.
Okay. It's been a motion and support. Any
Motion by
other?
Ryder, supported by
Mr. White.
Mr. White. Okay, supported by White. Shall I go forward with the? Okay. I do note for the record that Treasurer Yancho is in the audience. Do you wish to vote on this item, Mr. Yancho? Oh, okay. All right, I'll let him take his seat. That's quite all right. All right, I'll begin the roll call then. Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee White?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
7-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item D, the board will consider a motion to approve the 2026 gravel road dust control chloriding plan with the Genesee County Road Commission for $16,461.42 and authorize the township supervisor and township clerk to execute the agreement. We have with us Deputy DPW Director Greg Boggs.
Good evening, everyone. This is our annual participation in road chloriding for dust control with the Road Commission. 50/50 funds, is this not, can you hear me? Oh, for 50/50 funds. So the price did not increase from last year. We'll do first application late April, early May. The second application would be late June, early July, and then the third application would be mid-September.
So for those that may not know all about gravel roads, the chloriding is basically a brine, a type of liquid that
Yes.
it's not oil, it's water and salt basically that goes down on the road, draws the moisture to the surface and
Which puts a cap on it.
keeps the dust down and keeps the road in good shape is the idea behind it. So we pay for it with the road commission and they do the application, what have you.
Correct.
After they grade it. So,
We put usually an application or two at Bicentennial Park. This year, we'll put in one really early because we have the renovation project going on there this summer, so.
okay. Any
How many
questions?
roads are we talking about here?
We are doing,
I
sorry,
can tell you about the ones I get phone calls on.
yeah, sorry. it's in
Gray
the-
Tracks,
It's in the list.
Halsey, McWayne.
McQueen and Gray Tracks.
Correct. It
One
is-
application goes into the park Bicentennial Road.
So those are probably the main roads right there. I don't know.
It's in the packet, sorry, I'm pulling up right now.
Sorry to pull that up, but, you know,
So McWayne, Gray Tracks and Halsey.
We do like Grove and Edward Street in the
Okay.
first application, but the second application, we only do the primary roads, so. And then the third application, we'll go back to the
And
second.
believe me, our residents are eager to have it put down.
and they like the gravel roads, or?
Well, I mean, paving the road is out of the question, but the chloride
expensive.
keeps the dust down because otherwise we'll get phone calls from people. And even with the chloriding, before the season has to be, or the weather has to be just right for that. But we'll start getting phone calls any day now if it stays warm like this with people complaining that the dust is just invading their home. So it's a necessary thing to do. Making the motion, Mr. White?
Just a question. Do we know when the
Okay.
road commission's going to actually start grading? As somebody who lives on a gravel road.
They grade yours yet?
I think
Grade yours.
anytime now, just because the frost laws were on, they were lifted March 31st, so I'm sure they're organizing them. They did spot what they can, but it's about bringing the material in, and, you know, you can't be on unseasoned roads to do that.
Mr. Yancho?
Yes, I live on a gravel road, Halsey
I do?
Road. And it's been graded once this spring.
Okay.
It was absolutely horrendous. The road commission did a fairly decent job of filling some of the potholes, but they're not dragging the gravel in from the sides of the road. And so there's like a false ditch where the water collects and then it tends to mound up on the road because there's not a basic crown to the road. So they need to bring some of that material in. The point I'd like to make is that with the roundabout construction at Fenton and Baldwin this year, That's going to put a huge amount of traffic down Thompson Road from Fenton Road that becomes Halsey Road. And so Halsey and McQueen are going to get a huge amount of traffic this year that we don't have in a normal year.
Did you experience that with the
Yes.
bridge being out?
The
Did you
bridge,
did-
yes.
Okay.
We had hoped that, but we understand why they couldn't be done at the same time because it trapped some residents between those two construction sites. But nonetheless, if they could keep an eye on that,
Yeah.
and maintain that as needed,
I'll reach out to the superintendent
the
on that.
traffic, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll reach out to the maintenance superintendent about that.
Thank you.
Yep.
I told Mike that maybe it would slow down the traffic from coming through there if we just left it, but.
Speed bumps.
I know some people that bicycle that road, and they might want the traffic slowed down, but
Yeah. No,
nonetheless, there are people that need to get somewhere. And
I understand. I appreciate it being done too, believe me, but no, that would be helpful. But the other thing is that I even see semis driving down Halsey and Thompson when Baldwin's closed down, which I'm not sure if there's any kind of weight restrictions on gravel roads for semi-trucks going down there, but,
I don't think so. But when the frost laws are on
Yes.
in the early spring, definitely the gravel trains detour down Thompson and Halsey.
You don't have the weight restrictions unless there's a bridge.
right. Okay, so did I see you make a motion,
Yeah, I
Ms.
would make a
Ryder?
motion.
Okay.
I grew up on a gravel
Mr.
road.
White, was it, or
Motion
Okay.
by Ryder, supported by
trustee White?
trustee White. Okay, very good. Trustee Fike,
Yes.
myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett,
Yes.
trustee Ryder,
Yes.
treasurer Yancho,
Yes.
trustee Hugo,
Yes.
trustee White.
Yes.
7-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I did get a phone call today from somebody on Gray Tracks, so appropriate that we're voting on this evening. But item E, the board will consider a motion to approve the purchase of a 2027 International HV 607 SBA dump truck chassis from Tri-County Trucks using my deal pricing of $108,095.06 and authorize Township Superintendent to execute all related purchase orders. Boggs?
Before you tonight is the chassis for a replacement dump truck, which is nearing 21 years old. This is approaching a model change year, so we can save about $10,000 to $15,000 of purchasing it now. And then we're receiving quotes on upfitting it for the dump body and salt and ice packages from a couple of different vendors, and we'll bring that to you guys at a later date.
Just a note that for the public or anybody else, or even maybe some of the board, this is a DPW purchase out of water and sewer then. So these are restricted funds that wouldn't be able to be used for parks or any other department. This has to go towards water and sewer, so which this truck will be used for.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes.
I just had a question, and forgive me, I'm going from memory on this, but a few years back, we purchased a vehicle, or we made a reservation to purchase a vehicle, and it was really Seinfeldian, if you remember, because they made the reservation, but they didn't hold the reservation, okay? And we ended up losing out on a vehicle, okay, because it wasn't there for us when we were ready to purchase it. I thought it was a DPW expenditure, but it might have been fire, I don't recall. But I just want to make sure that if we're going to spend the money, we're actually going to get the chassis. They're not going to kick it, because I don't know whether do they have to build the chassis? Do they have to?
Yeah, so we did have some lead time delays. I think the last truck took about 2 or 3 years to get, just
I
because
think that
of
may be what I'm
COVID.
remembering.
Yes, but we end up getting it and at the same cost, but now manufacturing has caught up big time, so.
Well, with COVID and chips shortage and all that.
Yeah.
it's Probably
So
factored
There was
in.
axle transmission over-ordering and things like that, so.
Well, with that confidence and reassurance, I'll make the motion on item 8E.
Okay.
On
Supported by Mr. Yancho.
motion by Robertson, supported by Yancho, on item 8E. Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
7-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boggs. Future agenda items, Mr. Limata?
One thing I'll just jump back to, we kind of glossed over it on the agenda under old, was the strategic plan update. And the one-year task that we had talked about from your March meeting, they're attached to the second page that I put out at all of your places. If you look at that second page, it's just the administrative team came together in a meeting last week. All the department heads, assistant department directors, we split into two groups and we walked through the one-year tasks that were selected by the board at your March workshop on there. And what this represents is the one-year task that came out of that workshop that we think that we can accomplish. So we appreciate the board taking a look at those. We hit on the community engagement, infrastructure, prepare for growth, the community development and parks and recreation. But the one-year tasks that were provided by the facilitator to us to review, this is a response from that administrative team's review. And we'll revisit these as we move forward, but we revised them from what we were given to what we think is doable, and that's what you're seeing on this sheet. And again, that will come back to revisit you in the future as we move forward as your one-year task. This does not mean in any way, shape, or form that we've moved on from the other portions that may not have been picked up in your one-year task. It just means that the board provided additional emphasis to these items, and those are being addressed here.
So do we want to address these at our next meeting after board has a chance to look
Can
at
take a
them?
look at the one-year task, we'll build those into the overall plan, and then we're going to just continue to work on those and report back every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd like to have the board look these over, the second page here, actually third and fourth page, and come back after you review them and just see what your thoughts are on these. Go ahead, Mr. Lemon.
That's really it that I had for future agenda items. If there's anything that the board would like to see on a future agenda, now would be the time to ask us to put the information together.
Okay. Or get in touch with you or I. Okay, with that, board reports, Ms. Hugo, anything to report on planning commission?
I was out of town the last meeting.
Okay.
Don't have anything to
All right. Mr. White, anything with zoning board? Mr. Fike, anything Metro Alliance? Mr. Yancho, anything with Treasurer's Department?
No.
Clerk Roberts, anything with elections?
Yeah, we have, as of this afternoon, we have mailed out 8,136 absentee ballots for the May ballot question. Received 2,657 of them back.
One more time on the numbers, if you could.
8,136 absentee ballots have been mailed out. 2,657 have already been returned.
Okay. Very good. The only thing a couple of things I just want to report on, with the tremendous rain that we had this past weekend, and I think we had, Mr. Boggs probably can correct me, but was it 3 inches in 24 hours, something like that? 3.1 inches anyways, at least 3 inches that we received. No matter how big we make the sewers or how big actually the county makes the storm sewers, there comes a point where the capacity is just overwhelmed for water being able to get into those sewers. And unfortunately, that happened. And obviously, we're seeing on the news where throughout the state of Michigan where some major flooding's happening, unfortunately. Thankfully, we haven't had it that bad, but we did have a few residents that do have some severe flooding when the situation happens, like 3 inches of rain in 24 hours. We've been working with the Drain Commission with those residents. Probably saw some things on the news. We have the neighborhood in the northwest portion of the township along the presidential streets that there's some homes there that have some major flooding. A couple of years ago, we instructed them on how to go to the Drain Commission formally for a board determination. They held that. The County Drain Commission came up with 2 different plans for addressing that situation. It's no other neighborhood. Homes are very close together. probably, I think the drain that's there was put in the 30s, from what they told me. So we're in charge of correcting the sins of our ancestors sometimes, and that area, in order to fix it, it's estimated between $8 and $11 million just for the capital costs. Typically, when the Drain Commission does a project, they take that money and divide it up amongst the residents in that neighborhood or in that drainage district. In this case, trying to divide up $8 to $11 million amongst those homeowners in that drainage district would be just enormous. So we're trying to find some other solutions and working with the Drain Commission and the residents in that area, but just understand it's not from a lack of looking at what to do at trying to save homeowners money, but it's been like this for a while. So we're hoping that we can find a solution that isn't quite so expensive. With the spring coming, the roads are, showing all the signs of wear and tear with potholes, what have you. We encourage people to go on the county's website for their problem reporter. You can actually click right on the location on the map where the problem is, list the problem, put your email address, and they'll respond to you. So I'll leave it at that. But we had a meeting here, this past week with regard to the Fenton Road diet. I don't know if anybody's been following that, but basically the Road Commission is receiving close to $3 million for rehabbing Fenton Road between Grand Blanc Road and Hill Road. The idea would be to do a road diet. They received the funding from the state because of being able, they get money for doing this because it's a safety thing, so that's where they would get the $3 million. The idea behind it is that they would rehab that road, otherwise it's not going to get rehabilitated. They'll restripe it down to be one lane north, one lane south, and a left turn lane, and basically stripe the outsides where the shoulder would be, basically. So they're moving forward with that. We had lots of input. I think we had probably about 25 people here for the meeting. It's getting a lot of attention on social media, but they are going to move forward. The one caveat is if the accidents increase to a certain level over the next year, or the traffic volume increase to a certain level over the next year, they can reverse it or get approval from the state to reverse it. And at that point, you have a road that's been repaved. Problem with that road is it's concrete on the outside lanes and asphalt on the inside, and it's not something that they do typically these days, but it's all concrete on the outside and all asphalt on the inside 2 lanes, and it makes it nearly impossible to, very expensive to rebuild that road if they were ever to do it. Yeah, it lacks a crown, it's totally flat, so when it rains, the water sits in the road. One last thing, we have our cleanup day on May 2nd. It's a Saturday, 9 till noon approximately. Would love to have everybody come out. I think we had about 150 people come out last year. I know just about all of our board were there, and we appreciate that. And I think we picked up, I don't know, what was it, Melissa, about 1.5 tons of trash we picked up last year? What's that? 3,200 pounds? So anyways, bottom line is that, to keep our township looking good, I don't have to say it anymore, but, we do drive down some expressways and see some of the trash. We're not doing the expressways. We're going to do all primary streets, primary roads here in the township. The expressways we leave to other groups, but we appreciate anybody who can come out and help. We're looking for businesses, clubs, whatever, churches to bring their crews out. With that, Mr. Limata?
Just point out 2 things in your board reports that you had. First, from Assessor Danielle Pastu, you saw that the March border review numbers, and just note that our growth slowed down a little last year. Our SEV at $2.6 billion, our taxable value at just under $2 billion. But we still had a 2.9% growth rate in taxable value, which is good to see. Again, a little bit of slower growth for us than what we've seen over the last several years, but still a positive growth, and that's a good thing to note. The other thing I would like to just point out and recognize Chief Gent in his monthly board report as well, being responsive to a request by a board member, just a little more detail on some major incident reports, and I just want to check with the board to take a look at those. I think that he provided the information as requested, and I think it's in a manner that you guys wanted to see, so just wanted to point that out. Great, appreciate Chief Gent being responsive to the board's request and suggestion, and I think it was very complete.
Very good.
Thank you. And I agree. Thanks, Chief John. Dave, did you have some?
No, I didn't. We have,
Okay.
next item is item 11, Mr. Supervisor?
Yes. I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions for Mr. Lemata. Okay. With that, we have on our agenda a closed session pursuant to MCL 15.267 for the purposes of considering periodic personnel evaluation if the person requests a closed hearing. And I am requesting a closed session for that. Would there be support?
I'll support that, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay,
Shall I proceed with the roll call?
please.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
7-0, motion passes. We are entering into closed session at 7:21 PM.